Hello everyone, welcome to my stop on the Lawn Fawn Fans Winter YouTube Hop for 2022. It's our first hop of the year and we have a wonderful lineup of amazingly talented crafters who have all made projects using our favourite brand, Lawn Fawn, to get you inspired. For those of you who don't know me, my name is Steph and I'm a paper crafter from Queensland, Australia. Today's hop is sponsored and there will be a giveaway, so make sure you stick around for the details on that. So what are we making today? Although this is the winter hop, it's summer here in Oz, so I thought I'd make something to celebrate the next big occasion, which is Valentine's Day. I love making cards with my stamps, but if you've been hanging around and seen my work since I started this YouTube channel, I just, for some reason, can't seem to keep things contained to cards, so I'm doing something a little bit different today, as always. And instead of Valentine's Day cards, I'm making these cute little Valentine's Day games. I've got a word search and an I Spy. Let's get started on making these. So at the beginning of all my videos, I show which stamp sets that I'm using. It's usually a lot because my Lawn Fawn collection is ever growing. And I just flick through and point to all the little pieces that I'm planning on using in this project. So as you can see, there's a few things here. I've got lots of very tiny images. And that's mostly because that I Spy needs a lot of little things to fill up all the gaps. You'll see that by the end of this video, I didn't actually use all of these, but I did like to have them on my desk and in front of me for the inspiration. The main pieces that I'm using today are the Harold's ABCs, Scent with Love, and the Scent with Love add-on, my 4-square background die, and the largest of my stitched rectangle dies. I do all of my die cutting off camera, and to get started, I've cut 2 white stitched rectangles and 2 pink pieces of cardstock with my 4-square background. I'm going to be trimming out this cross in the center. I do this quite a lot with this die. I make giant Polaroid cards and things like that, and I just love using the center of this piece without the cross for the little windows. This space down the bottom is the perfect size for sentiments, but today it's going to be used for my words in the word search and for the little images that we need to find in the I Spy game. The first of my 2 games I'm going to be working on today is going to be my word search, and this may look a little bit tedious, but it was actually fairly simple to do. So what I'm doing is just marking out the edges of that square window, and then I'm going to just be marking some even spaces. These are kind of square shaped. I just took the size of my little ABCs stamps into account and worked out how many I could fit across without it looking too crowded. And so now I'm just marking out all these tiny little dots. I'm using a friction pen for this, so this is an erasable pen because I don't want these little dots to be visible later. Once those dots were marked out, it was then time to get stamping, and this was a lot of fun. This bit did take a bit longer to do, so I'm going in and stamping out the words that I want to be found first, making sure that I have enough room for the longer words. Unfortunately, with the way that these letters fit and the size of this square window, there was not enough room for the word Valentine. I'd do Valentin if I wanted to, but it was just one space too small. But that's okay, I got a lot of cute words in there. And as you can see, I'm just lining up my little alphabet stamps within those little squares and stamping them out, making this as close to a real word search as I can by having the words overlap where they can. And now here I am just stamping out those same words down the bottom, so that whoever I give this to knows what words they're meant to be finding. This was nice and simple. All I had to do was use the lines etched out in my stamping platform and just made sure that I had enough space between each word. This is the first alphabet stamp set that I have purchased, and I just have so many ideas for it. This one was so exciting, I just had to get it out immediately. So what I'm doing here now that my words are all done is I'm just going through the alphabet, just grabbing them all and filling up all those gaps, trying to make it look as random as possible, and also trying to make sure that there's no extra words in there. Once that's done, I'm then going to go over this cardstock with my pen to erase all of those little dots. This second game was actually much easier, so all I've done is gone through all my stamp sets and decided what cute little images I wanted to be in my I Spy game. I pick out that image, I stamp it down the bottom with a little X from that same alphabet stamp set and the number of how many of these images are going to be in this game. So for this heart I've chosen 5, so I'm going to stamp it 5 times on my white rectangle. And I've already marked out where the window ends so that these don't go behind the frame. I then repeat this process over and over with some other images. And as I ran out of space, I changed the number of how many were going to be visible in there. So I've gone for 5 for a few of them, and then to fill in the smaller gaps, I went with 3 of each. And then after that, it was as simple as filling in all the gaps with a bunch of tiny images that I found from other sets. Lots of little hearts and flowers. I think it turned out so sweet. While we're on a fairly repetitive step, now is a great chance to talk about our sponsor for this hop. So this sponsor is super special to me, and not just because it's an Aussie shop for the first time sponsoring the Lawn Fawn Fans YouTube hop. I am a magic maker for hobby hoppers, which means I am a creative member who makes crafty tutorials and videos showing off all of the wonderful things that this small business has to offer. It is truly a wonderful business to work with. Hobby Hoppers is owned and run solely by Trish, who loves all things crafty. She picks, packs, and sends every order, so if you've been lucky enough to already know about and have already ordered anything from Hobby Hoppers, it's been sent with so much care by Trish. Hobby Hoppers not only stocks the latest Lawn Fawn releases, but heaps of other crafty staples, like card bases, foam tapes, beautiful hemp cords, jelly roll pens that I'll be using in a moment for my white highlights, and a huge range of washi tapes, like a ridiculously huge range. I often get lost scrolling through them on the website. There's just so many beautiful patterns and designs. So be sure to check out this website. The link will be in the description below. Trish is generously sponsoring our hop today with a $50 Australian dollar shopping spree at Hobby Hoppers. Shipping is available to Australia, New Zealand, and the US. To go in the draw, all you have to do is say hi in the comments below and let us know where you're from. Hop along to each video. The link to the next one is in my video description, and leave a comment at each stop for more entries. We are so lucky to have 2 sponsors for this hop, and our second one is Not Too Shabby. Jamie, the owner, is sponsoring us once again with a $25 gift certificate. Not Too Shabby stocks a huge range of our favourite brand, Lawn Fawn, as well as their own line of stamps, dies and papers. Jamie hand draws stamp sets and digital stamps. So make sure you check them all out with the link below. Not Too Shabby ships internationally, so remember when you comment below to give us an idea of where you are in the world, so that if you are the lucky recipient of one of these gift vouchers, we can ensure that we match you up with one that ships out your way. I have already stamped out my images. I've picked 2 adorable skunks, and they've each got some accessories. These are going to be used to help kind of frame and decorate my games. As cute as they are with just the pink border around them, it really felt like something was missing. To colour these in, I'm doing the same as I always do, which is a mix of my Copic markers and my regular cheap alcohol markers. I'm colouring in with my light colour, using my dark colour for the shadows, and then going over again with the lighter one to just gently blend them out. I find that this gives just enough dimension for the quick crafts that I have to get done in the little time that I have. And then when I later add the white highlights, it totally changes the images up. From some aqua coloured cardstock, I cut some pieces that are a little bit bigger than my stitched rectangles. I wanted this to give each of my games a little frame and have a little bit of extra room to add my little skunks. So I rounded off the corners just to tidy things up a little bit. And now I'm going to put the pieces of my game together. I'm using my glue dots here so that I can move it if I don't line it up perfectly on the first go. And there we have it. My little games are together and they're looking adorable. I popped a title on each of these, so I've got Word Search on one and I Spy on the other, once again using that alphabet stamp set. I can't believe how many times I used it for this project. I have no idea how I lasted this long with no alphabet stamp sets. So here I am using some double-sided tape to adhere my games onto this piece of backing card. I've left a little bit of room at the top to pop the titles and the cute little skunks. I didn't mention it before, but I've used my skinny tag die to cut these pieces for the top, and I'm using some foam squares on the back to give them a bit of dimension. I found it really tricky not being able to give my games dimension, but I want them to be practical and functional. I want people to be able to use them and not worry about them having dimension and bits on the back that aren't supported. So while they're stuck flat, I was able to add dimension with all these other little bits and pieces. My little skunks also have a bunch of foam squares on the back to make them pop up. And they are looking so cute up there. Only lawn fawn can make skunks this cute. I then also used some foam squares on some of the other accessories to give them a little bit of dimension. These are just so much fun to see come together. Now that the final pieces are stuck on, these two little games are complete. I hope you love them. It's a very different way to use our lawn fawn stamps and dies, but it is so much fun. They would be such clever and creative card fronts if you wanted to use them as Valentine's Day cards. Who wouldn't love to receive something this cute? Please don't forget to comment below to go in the draw for our giveaway. The link to the next stop of this hop will be down below. Our 2 winners will be announced on the 30th of January, so you have until then to get your entry in. Good luck everyone. Thank you so much for watching. Bye for now.